I was in TikTok, guys, and I was like fucking looking at a reel of some dudes reacting to a Paramore song. It was crazy. I've never heard this song. All I wanted. All I wanted. No, it's a stupidly crazy, amazing song, amazing vocals. But what I'm saying this, because it really inspires me. Everything like music, art, it really inspires me. And when I hear fucking Haley Williams singing like that, my skin I have like fucking goosebumps. So, going back to animation, I was designing this frame that I'm going to show here. And I'm saying this because I will be listening all I wanted while I work. So you can imagine what I have in my mind right now, in my ears. So I was designing this frame and I stopped. I stopped because I was like, no, I have to show this to the people. It's super, super cool what is going to happen here from this super rough sketch that I did. So I rendered the animatic that I did yesterday. I rendered the animatic and then I took notes. It's like all of these are the notes that I have to do before I start presenting this to people or showing this to people and asking for feedback. So I came to this. I was not planning to clean any frames and anything, but this really inspires me. And if this really inspires me, I don't fucking care if I put some extra time because I enjoy and have fun. And if I'm listening to fucking Paramore while working on this, I'm happy. So look at this. The fucking Chihuahua falls. Okay, wait. Some context. Some context. All I wanted was you. Look, so the robot fucking smashes the chihuahuas into the ground, and these chihuahuas are in this underground laboratory. This other chihuahua starts falling, falls into the ground, and these dudes starts already morphing because of the acid that is around them. Starts morphing and becoming this fucking giant shit of chihuahuas, and then we come here to this other frame, in which we show this huge mass, this huge silhouette of this chihuahuas becoming a monster, and then the eyes opens, and then we go back to all the sequence that we saw yesterday. And that's the thing here on this type of shit, which are only about shape design. I just go crazy, I go lost, I put some cool music, and then I just start designing. And for me, these it's like looking at clouds and looking at all of those shapes that those clouds have inside and trying to find the design within those clouds. So for example, and there are many possibilities that like this design can turn out in many different ways. So for example, this thing here can be like a part of a cheek here, or can, I don't know, fucking be like the eye is here. But here, for example, this could be this part of the human body when you have a lot of fat, like this. So I can explore all of those things and start finding things around. So this is the difference between sometimes how I think. So here are two examples of how I take different decisions while I sketch. These decisions were more like sketchy, like let's try to just put as much things around. And this one was super shape oriented. It was like the most important thing here for me was this shape. So I started with that shape, and then on top of that, I can just keep putting more information inside. Wait, the song ended. Let me loop that song like for 20 hours. Enable repeat. Awesome. So look at this. I'm going to put some more information here because we go from here. This dude is like, he's super emo, he's super dark, he's super rockstar, and he's going like this. So here I can keep putting more information of this part of the mouth. What the fuck is this? Get out of here. So pack. So the hair. Can even push this shape, something like this. I can make this fucking arm starts getting like fucking long here, crack, and this arm also gets long like this. See, and this shit over there. Maybe the teeth also starts getting longer. Awesome. So here also, okay, that's information that I wanted from that I was missing here. And now on this layer, I'll look for those designs within these shapes that I'll build a design on these shapes that I have created here in these rough sketches. So let's go. I have the mouth here of this dude. Pop. Look at this nose. Around this shape. Puck. And then I'll draw the teeth. I'll not go like super clean, like cleaning every teeth, because I know that this will change completely. Even when I will put the rigs on top. Like, it's interesting because I can actually do this morphing scene with the rigs. With this layout that I'm designing, it's enough for me to just deform and destroy the rigs as I want to get to this pose. So yep, that's really cool. The eye over here, this cheek overlapping the eye here. I erase this. And I'm always trying to find ways to design super nice shapes. So for example here, get out of here. All I wanted was you. Look at this shape. So look at what I have inside of this. I have this shape here, and I have this shape here. And this is super cool. This is something that I learned from a mentorship that I did a long time ago. And it's that instead of thinking as shapes with instead of thinking with symmetrical shapes, it's cool to think about this type of shapes that looks like lemons. And these shapes that looks like lemons have some direction inside. If these were to have some forces inside, like this, for example, this force goes to a certain direction. If we keep thinking about symmetrical shapes, all the forces stays here within the shape. But when I work with these other type of shapes, like lemons, then the forces within the shape are going towards one direction. See? So this is super cool because this is creating dynamic shapes that I can actually use to design poses that feel alive. So this cheek, I build this. No, get out of here! Many lines. So I build this cheek with having in mind those type of dynamic shapes. Pop. Maybe here I can cut this a little bit higher, so I have an asymmetry where these lines end. Nice. So I can keep putting more stuff here. It's not looping. Wait, the song is not looping. Disable repeat, enable repeat. What's up? Okay, so I go here, back. See, I keep building my shapes here, Back. Now, what the fuck is this? This is the lip. These are like when you do like this, and in this part of the jaw starts getting like a little bit like with these lines, like a squash and stretchy. I'll put all of those things to feel like this dude is stretching like crazy. I'll do something like that. The cheek over here is going that way. The eye here is going this way. This other thing is going like this. Tack. Maybe. Maybe instead of making this straight, because here is like super straight and he's like and then going up. Maybe that's an idea. So that's an idea that I can include here for when I go to the animation. Actually, I can play around with that. So this is pooping ideas. Here, all of videos that I came up with. Some tooth. There you go. Another cheek here. What the why am I drawing? Opacity. No! I was drawing in the wrong layer. La concha su madre. Get out of here. Okay. Awesome. So I can continue the cheek here like this. And then go like this. Back. Maybe not something like this. And then I continue with this shape like this. Also, now here I like to create these negatives. So I'm not only thinking about the shapes inside of the character, but also the negative shapes that I'm creating around. So look at this. I'm creating this negative shape here. Look at this. Amazing, beautiful. So all of those things are the things that I'm thinking about. Awesome. Nice. So here I have this shape, this shape, this shape, this shape, this shape here. And then I'll connect this with this. Make this, and I can start playing with it. Tooth here, maybe one bigger than the other one, and here the hair go down. I'll create one shape this here, and maybe another one here. Awesome. Wait, my eraser is too thick. My battery is running. I'm running out of battery in my phone, so I have to be fast. Goosebumps. Wait, fuck. There you go. Nice. Pack. So I'm trying to flip just to look around and see how everything will go from pose to pose. And I know that these will have many poses in between, so I can smoothly go from this to the other pose. Wait. Another thing is like this dude will have a choker, which I haven't put on the other on the rest of the animatic yet, but I'll have it in mind because that's something that I will eventually add. See, instead of me putting a parallel line with this and this line, which creates as a consequence this shape, which is super boring, I try to just extend this line to the outside, so it actually creates this type of shapes. And this type of shapes is more dynamic. It makes it feel even cooler. So I'll try to work with that. See, awesome. And then I continue more forces around here, like going inside, around. So this is like the chest. Nice. And let's continue with this arm here. So something like this, and then something like this, and then I'll go like this. Awesome. Then it goes like this. Small, and then I'll be big here, and then where else? Okay, I can continue this shape around here like this, so I can do some overlapping lines to create this sense of volume, so the characters also coming towards the camera as it's getting bigger. It's like a mass of shit acid. I can start putting maybe some claws here. Like this. Look at that shape. Amazing. I can put a shape like this here. I don't want it to be too distracting from this, but I'll continue. If it's too distracting as I play this many times later, I'll just get rid of it. Now I'll put this shape a little bit more over here. This thing goes around here like this. So, not bad. A little shape over there. What the fuck is this? Okay, there you go. So I disable this and voila, my monstrosity. Wait. Yeah, this eye is a little bit closed. Nice. So that's what I wanted to share, like my process of designing this type of weird, crazy, horrible things. Pop, 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 and then it starts getting higher. I'll create another frame. I'll do like another frame. Just keep moving up, keep getting even more fat. So let's see. So I'll take everything, push this like this. Nah, I'll redraw. So I'll do something like this. I will sketch this super fast. So the eye will be something like this. Something like this, something like this. And the head will go up higher. This mouth is going up like this. This eye, so this head is rotating that way too, like that. Like this. Something like this. Maybe I can add some traditional animation here just to make everything like with the layout that eventually will be designed. It like make everything interact with the layout, all of this mass and crazy stuff. So it will be something like crack, crack, crack. Crack, crack. So this is my sketch. This arm is getting longer. This head is getting too high. Maybe this should be a little bit. Oh, it's not working. This should be a little bit smaller. And then, yes, too much. There you go. Pack, 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 pack. I'm flipping to see how it feels and how the shapes move from frame to frame. So this arm can also extend. Something like this. And this fat sheet also goes like this behind this shit, but I'll still draw through. This food maybe gets closer, super gross. I want to make this super gross. So this is also coming closer to camera, something like this. This is the POW. The POW is the name of these shits, right? Paw Patrol, the POW. I remember due to that show. Awesome. All of that shit extended there, you see? Black, 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 black. This sheet should be a little bit more like this. Track. And the teeth. Awesome. this more exaggerated, something like this. It's a squash. Everything is a squash, and there you go. Let's see how this looks if I play. Yeah. I'll maybe add another frame in between here later, but let's see. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is, wait, these two have to also be higher. Awesome. And what I'm going to do is take everything, put a random color on it. Let's put a purple, reduce the opacity of this shit, create a new layer with this, and on top of this, I will design my beautiful shapes with the same thought process that I used before, like creating dynamic shapes and just exploring all the possibilities that I can achieve here. So, book. I'm also flipping to see how my shapes will move from frame to frame. Maybe also this game starts getting like bigger. How these shapes transitions, and maybe these shapes starts stretching. So towards the bottom, these shapes starts stretching here. See, something like this, something like this. I remember once an animation mentor that I had, he told me like, yeah, you just have to flip, you just have to flip. And I was like, flip? I'll never flip. And I remember he almost got a heart attack. He's like, what the fuck? You never flip? I remember I was just starting to learn animation. And he's like, no. And I was like, flipping, that's too much. Like, have to press too much buttons. He was like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, you have to flip every time that you animate. That's the only way that you can actually see the motion. You can. Wait. No, la concha su madre. So. Let me grab what I have here, so I can actually draw. I have to draw on that layer. So yeah, I learned my lesson that time. I was like, yeah, and flipping in animation means actually going back and forward from from the frame before and the frame after, so you can actually see how things move. How not the lines move, but the shapes that are around the lines move. Wait. Okay. And if you don't flip, then you rely into just the preview when you put play and see how it looks like. But actually, flipping gives you a better idea of like how that will look like without playing play yet, or without even finishing animation. So that's something that I always do when I'm working, and that's why when I was storyboarding this in Photoshop, I was also putting in low opacity my frames before and after, so I can imagine how it will move. And see, for example, here without flipping, here on this action sequence, I'll put play here. On this action sequence, without flipping, but with the knowledge of flipping, I was able to draw this and have an accurate result when putting everything together. So it actually feels in movement. The characters feels like it's moving from place to place or staying almost in the same position. And that was something that I to be able to draw the storyboards panels without flipping and then putting them together on a storyboard software and see how they look like together in an animatic, and that it actually works. It takes time of first doing stuff like this, like flipping between frames and seeing things moving while flipping. So it's not it's one of the best things that one of the best advices that I have received. And yeah, I think that's sometimes I think for the old school animators when they used to learn in paper, that was like a must. It's like, of course you have to flip, otherwise you cannot animate on paper. But nowadays that everything is traditional, is sometimes those good habits are lost. But it's something that is a non-negotiable in terms of animation. You have to actually flip. Ay, la concha de su madre. Wait, I have to do something here. Look at this. It's like, what the fuck is this noise here? But now I see that it's like, that is my lower lip. So, poop, 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 poop. See? And of course, this should be like 3D. Should put like the inside of the mouth and then here. But I wanted to keep this style super flat, so I'll cheat and put those things like that. I'm just cheating like this. Poop, 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 poop. Now, some lines like this. Some lines like this. Oh shit! Look! That's why I'm flipping. So I can see that the lip that I draw here have these lines here. This number of lines also. So I want to keep that number of lines here. So this idea of the lower, come on, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. So this idea of the lip here will not actually truly work here if I want to keep the continuity. But it did if I do something like this. Nah. Put the lip here. And I will also keep this cheek here. See? That's why we flip, to see all the information that we are carrying from the frame before. Also, black. This shit goes like this. Fuck. Awesome. So this arm also goes like this. Getting bigger. Look at this paw also. Nice shape. So here I'm playing with a curve on the top and a straight line on the bottom. Wait, there you go. Do something like this. Back. Awesome. I try to always go around the form so I can have these beautiful shapes. And this one is a little bit like this. Oh, look at that. Wait, no, there you go, something like that. Awesome. And then I continue here, build behind this shape, something like that. And then the arm goes like this, like this, like this. And this goes like this. Again, trying to design these shapes, avoiding these symmetrical shapes. Pack. And the chest. I can also make something like this. Pook. And then this mouth also push in that direction, so I'm pushing my lines like this, see? Pook. Tuck. I'm spending too much time here. I don't care, it's cool. I enjoy making these crazy frames. For more like normal frames, just the characters talking and shit. I don't like to spend too much time on this. This is because it's the shit that I like to design, this weird type of stuff. Okay, so here I'll draw the main shape and cut this shape apart. Yep, something like that. So, cool. Get out of here, get out of here. No, I was drawing here. Concha su madre. Wait. So flipping and flipping and flipping. Awesome. Then I'll come here, delete this. And there you go. I lost all the hair. I don't care. I'll put something like this. And here. There you go. Beautiful. And it's working. That's my layout for these two frames. So if we play this, we go inside of this underground laboratory of nuclear atomic shit, and they are morphing, blah blah, and becoming this huge thing. And then we go there. I might think of adding an in between this and this, but that's actually just flipping and adding that in between just to make this a little bit more fancy. But other than that, that's it. And hope you like the progress of today. I'll keep working on these notes, and after that start asking for feedback with Polish Animatic. So see you next time. Bye bye.